Before the final note faded into silence, before the entire theater rose to its feet, and before even Simon Cowell wiped his eyes, there was a single moment, so small, so fragile, that almost no one noticed. A boy standing alone under blinding lights, whispering to himself, "Para kay nene, para sa Pilipinas." And that moment is where this story truly begins. If you believe music can heal, if you believe dreams can survive poverty, loss, and fear, then stay with this story until the very end. And if it touches your heart even once, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because stories like this deserve to be shared. The boy's name was Miguel Santos. He was 12 years old, Filipino, small for his age, with worn-out sneakers and a neatly pressed white polo that had been borrowed from a cousin. His hair was carefully combed by his grandmother that morning, her trembling hands fixing every strand as if perfection could protect him from failure. Miguel had never been on an airplane before this trip. In fact, he had barely left his neighborhood in Tondo, Manila, where narrow streets echoed with laughter, struggle, and the sound of radios playing old love songs late into the night. Miguel didn't grow up dreaming of fame. He grew up dreaming of enough. Enough rice for dinner. Enough medicine for his mother. Enough hope to make it through another day. His father had been a construction worker overseas, a man who promised to come home next Christmas but never did. An accident took him away, leaving behind silence and unanswered questions. From that day on, Miguel's mother worked 2 jobs, cleaning houses by day and sewing clothes by night, until her body finally gave in. When she got sick, Miguel learned what fear really felt like. Hospitals became familiar. Bills stacked higher than schoolbooks. And in the middle of it all, music became his refuge. Every night, he would sit beside his mother's bed and sing softly. Not pop songs. Not trending hits. He sang old Filipino songs, hymns, and sometimes, very quietly, Lupang Hinirang. His mother would smile weakly and whisper, "Anak, when you sing, I feel strong again." The day she passed away, Miguel sang at her bedside for the last time. No audience. No applause. Just a boy in a song meant for a nation, carrying the weight of his own heart. Months later, a neighbor recorded Miguel singing during a small community event. His voice wasn't perfect, but it was honest. Raw. Proud. The video found its way online, then farther than anyone expected. An invitation arrived: America's Got Talent. Miguel didn't fully understand what it meant, only that it was far away and that it scared him. But his grandmother held his face and said, "Your voice is not just yours. It carries where you came from." Standing backstage at AGT, Miguel's hands shook. The stage was massive, the lights unforgiving. He could hear the crowd, feel the bass of the music from the act before him. When his name was called, his legs almost refused to move. He walked out slowly, the Philippine flag pin shining on his chest. The judges smiled politely, but Simon Cowell leaned back, arms crossed, unreadable. When asked why he chose to audition, Miguel swallowed hard. "I sing for my mother," he said. "And for my country." His accent was thick, his voice soft, but the room quieted. Simon raised an eyebrow. "And what are you going to sing for us today?" Miguel took a deep breath. "Our national anthem. Lupang Hinirang." There was a pause. A risky choice. No backing track. No flashy arrangement. Just a boy, an anthem, and courage. The first note trembled. You could hear the nerves. A few people shifted in their seats. Simon looked unconvinced. But then Miguel closed his eyes and something changed. His voice steadied, rising with unexpected strength. Every word carried pride, pain, and love. He wasn't just singing lyrics, he was telling a story of struggle, resilience, and identity. As the song built, so did the emotion in the room. The audience leaned forward. One judge placed a hand over her mouth. And Simon, who had heard thousands of voices, slowly uncrossed his arms. When Miguel reached the final lines, his voice cracked, not from weakness, but from truth. Tears streamed down his face, but he didn't stop. He sang through them, for his mother, for his father, for every Filipino who ever felt invisible. The final note echoed. Silence, then the theater erupted. The audience stood as one, applause crashing like waves. Miguel looked stunned, as if he didn't understand what was happening. The judges rose too. And Simon Cowell wiped his eyes. He cleared his throat, trying to regain composure. "I've judged this show for many years," Simon said, his voice softer than anyone had ever heard it. "And I can honestly say, that wasn't just a performance. That was a moment." Miguel cried openly now, covering his face. The judges praised his bravery, his sincerity, his heart. But it was Simon's words that would echo forever. "You reminded us why music matters." When the votes came in, Miguel advanced. But more than that, something else happened. Across the world, Filipinos watched with pride. Parents hugged their children tighter. Old wounds felt seen. A boy from a forgotten street had carried a nation's soul onto the world's biggest stage back home. Miguel's grandmother watched the replay on a neighbor's television, tears falling onto her worn hands. "You did it," she whispered. "You sang for all of us. And remember that moment I told you about at the beginning? The whisper under the lights?" That was the moment Miguel proved that no dream is too big, no voice too small, and no pain too heavy to be turned into something beautiful. If this story moved you, if Miguel's journey touched your heart, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps keep stories like this alive, stories of hope, courage, and the power of believing in yourself, even when the world feels impossibly large, because sometimes, all it takes is one song, sung from the heart, to make the whole world listen.